I'm excited about this project this week. It's going to be pure fun. This week, I'm going to say, the hell with restoration. The word is modification. Here's the subject of this modification. It's an Airline 1963 archtop. I don't know the model number. Here's some numbers. I don't know if it's an N3 or what. As far as this modification, I want to take some inspiration from a Gibson 125, maybe a 150. Modification, yes. How am I going to modify it? Well, I want to electrify this guitar and do a couple little upgrades along the way. I haven't quite worked out the details on which pickups to install. I do know I want to do a single pickup. I like P90s. I like these speed bump pickups. There's a lot of new brands out there on the market, some knockoffs, but I'm not sure which ones to put in. And I want to involve you guys in this project. So leave it down there in the comments what you think I should put in. And next week, that's what we'll work on. For this week, let's get started on this guitar. Strip it down, figure out what we got to do to get it playing right, and then we'll go ahead and electrify it. First thing, let's kill these strings. Remove the pick guard. Kind of interesting how they mounted this. Got some little felt pads with some rubber feet. The tailpiece caused a little bit of damage to the top, quite a bit of damage, and there's some delaminations going on here. Now they had a strap attached with a nail, believe it or not. The neck is loose in the pocket. As you can see, there's a little bit of gap in the heel. Feels pretty loose. I tried tapping it out, banging it out, pulling on it, tugging on it. I even put it in my neck jig to give it a little bit of pressure. Nothing seemed to work. So I thought I'd put a little heat on this heel to try to remove it. I flipped the guitar over so the heat would rise. Oh shit. This is how you learn from your mistakes right here. Don't try this at home. I had forgotten that these old fret dot markers are made out of celluloid plastic, which is apparently very flammable. I had heard about these combusting, never experienced it. First time for everything. Let's move on. It does have single line Kluson tuners. I guess I'll be keeping those. Okay, so this neck doesn't want to come off that way. I've got another plan. I do want to protect the body. This is a flush cut saw. Can feel a little bit of the kerf. So just to give it some protection, I'm going to run it down the side of the heel first. So hopefully we'll follow this track. It's nearly through. I don't know what can be holding it at this point. It's loose from the top. It's wiggling back and forth. It's not attached. Unless the only thing I can think of is that the dovetail goes right to the fingerboard. So maybe I just need to cut a little bit deeper. I don't know what could be holding it. Baffling. I'm cut right to the fingerboard. This has just got a little bit of glue on the top of that dovetail stuck to the underside of the fingerboard. Might have to just pop it loose. Let's try it. It's gonna give it a couple of good little taps. Well, just one will do it. Let's see what happened. Yeah, the top of the block was glued to the underside of the fingerboard. Good, so now I just have to change this angle and I can glue it back on. Actually, I'm gonna bolt it on. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put I can't get on the inside of this guitar, obviously, so I'm gonna put the threaded insert into this heel, into the neck block, and then when I attach this, I'll drill and counter bore a hole to accept the head and the bolt, tighten it back in place, and then that'll be back in business. I'm determining that this little piece of this dovetail that's sticking out of here, this has got to come out. What's going on, when I put the neck onto the body, that little protrusion here, it's registering off this little notch in here. So I'm going to take this out. But the thing is, and it's loose inside the block. So I'm going to probably flood this with super glue to stabilize that, because this insert, because there's no sound hole on this guitar, I can't put the insert into the neck. It has to go into this dovetail heel here. So if I just screw it in here without stabilizing this, I'm not really anchoring to anything solid. I'm gonna cut this top piece off. I'm gonna flood this with super glue, let that dry before I put this insert in place. That should work. There's probably people out there right now cringing. I'm gonna get a ton of comments about this. There's probably 10 different ways to do this better than what I'm doing. But this is what I've come up with. I guess just wish me luck. I'm keeping this at an angle so I don't touch the body, hopefully. Remember I said this is gonna be fun? Told you, this is fun, huh? Now, with this being loose in the pocket, flooding it with super glue, man, I hope this is gonna work. See if it wicks in there. Before I just start making a huge mess, let me take a little bit of a precaution here. Fun, fun, fun. Told you. Well, it's going in there. It's seeping in. I guess that's a good sign. It's going somewhere. It's going right in. Beautiful. Super glue's strong, right? Should hold this. Leave it in the comments what you think. Is this crazy? We're having a good time, right? Still got this whole recess behind the dovetail to fill. We should get quite a bit of glue going down in there. That glue set up really nice and strong. I'm gonna start off removing about what I normally do, which is about a millimeter or so. And I want to taper this to nothing, down to a millimeter on the lower part of this heel. Now I'm going to go ahead and sand off this material here, and I'll check it at the body and see how the neck angle looks. Still need to undercut this heel because there's a lot of material here. The theory holds the same with the sandpaper pulls because the contour of the body is not flat. This is perfectly flat right now, so it's kind of rocking. So I'm going to scoop out a lot of the center. About like that. I want to take out this material in here. Now I've got a little bit of clearance on this interior part. Just clean that up a little bit. Now when I do my sandpaper pulls to align the body to this heel, you can see it rocks right now because this is flat on the underside and this is got a contour to it. So I scribed a little line tracing the outside of this where this heel joint is, and I'm going to do my sandpaper pulls. Checking with a straight edge as I go. That's where I'm at right now. I'm running into it. Got about, I don't know, I'm right to the bottom of this section of the bridge here, this little undercut. So, what is that? About 3/16 of an inch more I have to go. So I'm going to undercut this. I'm going to take a little bit more material out of the center part, and then because I can see I'm getting close to touching, and then I'm going to go ahead and sand some more. Keep sanding, sanding, sanding. It's a long process. Now the fit on the heel to the body is really tight, and just dropping a straight edge here. I'm just nicking the top. And these string grooves are recessed into this, and I do have a little flexibility here because it is an arch top. I'm going to put thumb wheels. Right now I just have some washers because it didn't come with thumb wheels. So I'm going to run with that and get this bolt in place and fastening this neck onto the body. First I want to put a pilot hole in the heel, and then I'm going to line it up with the body, transfer that hole, and now I have a starting point where I can insert, where I can drill it larger for the insert, and then I can open this up for the bolt in the head of the screw. I want to find a good location. I want to put it about this high and then find a center point there. I'll drop this down a little bit. I'm going to use the edges of my vise. So I'm right at 1.5 inches right there. So 3/4 of an inch is the exact center. I'm going to take a little center punch. I'm going to line that up. That's where I'm going to drill my hole. right, to transfer this hole, I'm just going to take a drill bit. I'm just going to seat that in there. Give it one little tap. There it is. There's my center point. So this is going to go right there. Almost there. Let me go ahead and drill this now. Now this is a little small. I need to open it up to 3/8. Just let me get a little countersink on that. Maybe I can use this step bit. Don't want to get it down in the inside so much. That'll be nice and tight. And this screw is going to get inserted just like so. Clean this up here. That's actually pretty good. Let's check the neck angle. Make sure that's all good. Now checking the neck angle. Yeah, I'm still good. Clears that bridge. So the neck angle is good. I got the neck bolted on. So come on back next week. The saga continues with this project. Also, don't forget, leave in the comments, what do you think would be a good pickup to put inside this guitar? I'm gonna do a single pickup, probably in this neck position, probably a volume and a tone right here. But what do you think? Lawler, P90, maybe a gold foil pickup? Something kind of vintagey sounding, I think. Thanks for watching. Join me next week for part 2 of this modification of a Airline guitar.